Thank you, Vivek sir, and thank you everyone who have taken out some time of your personal weekend and joining the session. Hopefully, this half an hour walkthrough of the course and follow up of the question and answers would help you gain information not only about the course, but also it would build bit of confidence whether you would prefer to enroll in the course and how this course could help you in your trading journey. So with that, the agenda for this session is that we'll briefly introduce with GMT, as some of you uh, might still not be familiar. However, many of you are already aware of GMT and know either me, Aditya, and Vivek sir. Um, After that, we'll talk about the GMT course, the course schedule, why you should prefer GMT course, what is the course content, what are the course inclusions, offers, and then we'll open up for Q&A. Briefly about GMT. So we started Grow Money Trading as a WhatsApp group. Abhishek mentioned he was part of that initial member along with Vivek sir and Aditya in January 2020. Within very short time, we grew as a community over various social platforms. As of today, we are uh, present on majority of the social platforms that you might be using. We have over 12K followers. Based on our community's need, we went ahead and registered ourselves as a business corporation here in Canada and launched our official website in July 2021 so that we could share with our community the trading technicals and basics that help in the price movements which would be beneficial for members who are actively trading. And as of today, we have taken close to 13 batches. The first batch was our Grow Money Trading Beginners course, which we had two of the batches. Then we expanded that course to what we today call it as Grow Money Trading course, and that is useful for people who are interested in trading stocks, ETFs, or cryptocurrencies. There's the next level of advanced GMT course, which is for those who are actively trading and usually trade in futures and options. Last year, we were involved in our another venture, which is our Grow Money Trading Foods. We had started our kitchen home restaurant and catering, and that's why you don't see a new batch here, but that was a separate division. Now, talking about the team that is going to be involved in this batch, myself, I'm Kamal Kishore, and you have heard Vivek Bhatia. He is our head instructor and passionate teacher. I would say that if you enroll in this course, you'll start loving trading once he starts speaking. Then we have Aditya. He is our data expert. He makes sure that whatever things you learn and execute, those are refined so that it gives you the returns that you are expecting. Now, talking about the course, so I believe many of you or most of you by now would have already visited GMT website, and this orientation we are having for our Grow Money Trading course, which is starting coming Saturday on 9th of March. Following that, we are also getting requests for our advanced course. So we have planned for the advanced course in May. And some of you might have noticed that on our website, we have a new tab, Jobs, and this is going to be starting soon, although it's not related to trading. But many GMT members do inquire about job opportunities, and this venture would definitely help those who are interested in job opportunities here in North America. Now, keeping our focus of this session towards the Grow Money Trading course, I would take you all to the course website page. So I believe some of you would have seen this page, but as a part of this orientation, we would like to walk you through so that you get more information in terms of what the course covers. So this course is curated for everyone who is either a beginner, uh, investor who has been investing now and then, or has had a portfolio, or also have been trading. So basically, this course is curated for beginner to an experienced trader, sorry, who trader or investor who would like to learn from a structured course which covers the fundamentals as well as technicals in depth for trading stocks, ETFs, cryptocurrencies, or any other financial instruments on any global exchange. As part of this course, we are proud to say that as a team, we take you from ground zero until the level that you can trade independently and make consistent profits. As GMT team, we would help you and handhold you to learn the skills that are needed for you to trade independently. Sorry. The course schedule, as I mentioned, the batch will be starting coming Saturday on 9th of March. The course is of 4 weekends, Saturday and Sunday. So from 9th of March until 13th of March, every Saturday, Sunday. For those who are in North America, the timing is 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. EST. Note, next Sunday, there would be daylight saving shift as well. So for North American time, it would remain same. For those who would be joining from India, the first class would be at 9 p.m. IST, but because of the time zone change, then the next class you'll have to adjust the time by an hour. The classes will be on Saturdays and Sundays usually. However, depending upon the members who are part of the course, the learners who have enrolled in the course, if there is, let's say, a long weekend or some time slot which is available, we could plan for sessions or adjust the timings of the sessions based on learners' availability and agreement as well. These classes will be on Zoom, and we understand that since the classes are on weekends, learners could miss 1 or 2 class. So we do record each session and we share the recording. However, we encourage that you attend the live session, because during the live session, you get to hear and learn the topics, not only from the learners, but also from the questions that you might have, and you get a chance to ask about those. We also encourage that if you miss a class, when you join the next class, you watch the recording so you catch up with the topic and you are prepared for the next topic. We also make sure that the subsequent classes, we open up our Zoom session half an hour early. So if anyone has any questions, they can join and get your doubts clarified on the topics that have been covered previously. Now, in terms of the topics that you would be learning broadly, these are the topics that I have mentioned here, but I think Vivek Bhatia would be the best to walk you through what you will actually learn from these. So Vivek sir.
Thank you, Kamal. Thank you, Kamal. So let's start by saying it this way, that we will first introduce to you what these stock markets are all about, be it Indian stock markets, be it North American stock markets. But because most of the students are from North America, we will talk about the North American markets predominantly. After that, we will also talk about what are the basics of the technical analysis that is being taught to you. Now, when the basics have been taught to you, you will be talked about what are the terms the technical analysts use regularly, right? After that, we will also talk about what are the various kind of trading accounts that are available in the for the North American people, which is the TFSs, the RRSPs, the RESPs, and of course the cash accounts which you have over there. All these three or all these four are different kinds of accounts which you should know because you will be using your tax savings and trying to build up your wealth without having to pay taxes. After all, it is not only building up wealth which is important, it's also how do you avoid paying taxes and saving the wealth that you built up. It makes no sense to you becoming a millionaire if 50% of that is going to be taken away by the government of the land. So it doesn't make sense that you work for them. You rather work for yourself. Right? So then we talk about what are the platforms available where you can trade in on the kind of markets. We will also talk about what are the platforms available for the US market, be it NASDAQ, be it Dow Jones, be it the commodity exchange, all of them will be talked about. After we have done all of this, that is when, after this is done, we start talking about the technicals of the stock market. The analysis are technical analysis. This is where we will talk to you about the basic of technicals, which is the candlesticks. The candlesticks becomes important. Now here we will teach you a language of the candlesticks, which is a visual language. You will see the chart, you will see the candlestick, and you will then decide what the future is going to happen. Of course, none of us are Lord Almighty, but it's a probable trade. The candles will tell you where your probability lies. It's all a game of probability. So the candles will tell you that. So we will teach you candlesticks. After that is done, we will share the secret of the best traders of the world. And the best traders of the world will always trade on one concept, which is support and resistance, and never admit that the trading is that simple. So we will teach you support and resistance. We will teach you how will you draw it. So it will be a hands-on exercise for the entire batch. It will be a live hands-on exercise for the entire batch when we teach you this. After you have drawn supports and resistances, you know where to buy, where to sell. A corollary to that would be a trend line understanding. Trend line understanding or drawing trend lines is again like drawing supports and resistances. After that is done, your patterns will come into play. Every time a candle is formed, it is a part and parcel of a pattern being formed. Is it a simple pattern? Is it a complex pattern? And accordingly, 30 candlestick patterns will be discussed with you at least. Between simple and complex all added together, you will add approximately about 30 candlestick patterns. So you will realize there are approximately about 200 and plus candlestick patterns in the market, but of which what are most important is what we will teach you. So of the 30 also, I'll tell you even right now upfront, what is going to be important are only going to be basically 10 candlestick patterns. If you master these 10, your trading is taken care of. You need not become a Warren Buffett immediately, but yes, you can compete with your CEO of your companies in terms of earning capacity. Right? So you will learn various candlestick patterns. After candlestick patterns are done, which will include head and shoulders, double tops, cup and handle, triple tops, double bottoms, all that is done, we will next shift you to the four kinds of indicators that are there in the market. There's a trend indicator, there's a volume indicator, there is momentum, and there is volatility. We will teach you all the four indicators. Now, each of these four kinds has got multiple indicators within them. So we will tell you what the most used indicator is with the default settings. And that is where, in the process, when Kamal was saying, we would ask our learners to attend a live session because this session is taken by the expert on that indicator. and he will always give you his little bit nuances, his twist that he's adding to the indicator so that you can learn by their experience. So we will teach you all of that. And along with each indicator, a strategy will be taught to you. So there will be four types of indicators. You will have four strategies. Then we will teach you the Bollinger Band strategy, or the strategy which is going to be a mixture of all the four. Now, this session is what session I personally will take. That doesn't mean I will not come in the earlier sections, but this session is what I will personally take. And you can be sure when I take this session, it will not go on from 9:30 to 1. It will be a long drawn session. You may be required to skip your lunch also. I'll be upfront right now. I will scare you right now, right? But it's an interesting session. After that is done, we teach you Hekenashi, which is a kind of a new candlestick. We teach you Renko, which is another improved candlestick strategy. After all that is done, we will also teach you where you can see your charts free of cost. The idea is, of course, you can pay for it and get a premium version, but the idea is to always keep your expenses towards the trading as low as possible. We will give you a lot of stock screening sites which are easily accessible to you from any part of the world. After that is taught, that means your technical analysis has been taught to you. But my training to you is not yet done without teaching you risk reward ratio. That is, how much money do you put in the stock market to get an appropriate reward? How do you size your position? How much stock do you buy? In what quantity? Why? Will again be taught to you. Then thereafter, we will also end by giving you the psychology of the market, psychology of the trader, psychology of the investor, and both put together is the psychology of the market. So that's the way it is. And the entire course will end with, of course, Kamal handing out certificates and we taking your feedbacks as to how badly have we taught. So we would be requiring a lot of uh, critic, critical analysis from you guys, telling us how badly have we taught you and how well can we improve. So that's going to be our takeaway on the completion of the course. On the course being ended, the course will have at least three instructors. You will have Kamal, you will have Aditya, and you will have yours truly also. Now, all through the course, the person who is presenting at that for each topic will be an expert on that topic. So you can ask your questions freely. We may bring in tax experts as and when required in case if they consent to come and address you guys if you have a tax query. But we keep doing this on a regular basis. If in case if he's free, if he's busy, then we will merge 3 or 4 batches and ask him to come and address all of you learners. How can you resolve your tax issue? So that is how the course will be delivered to you. Now, the course delivery will always take place on a Saturday, Sunday, on the next 4 weekends. The timing, as Kamal has already told you, will be from 10:30 to 1. Now, here, the first session will start at 10:30. The next session, the day 2, will start at 10 o'clock. Why do we say we start at 10 o'clock? In case if anybody has any questions, he can use that half an hour buffer to start early to get all his queries resolved. Now, as mentors on this course, the rule is very clear. We don't close the session till any doubt is there in the mind of any learner. Number one. Number two, we do not wait for the session to end and then the learners ask questions. The learners are at liberty to ask the question anytime once the course starts. Because as a faculty of management at the Bombay University, I have learned this the hard way that the best way to learn is to ask questions. And the question asked on the spot is best answered on the spot, never at the end of the session. So all our mentors are well trained that we can be stopped, we can be disturbed, and a question can be put to us, and we will be required to answer that question till you are not satisfied. Which is why there are times where there are more than one instructors in the same teaching session. Clear? Point number 3. Our session starts at 10:30 or 10 o'clock. That is a must. Whether you are there or not, the session starts. The session never ends at 1. So when you're studying with us and when I am going to be taking the course, please tell your family members that they can carry on with their lunch without waiting to disturb you. So you will be dead sure you will not be able to eat your lunch with them. So I will never close my session at all. But this is the past experience I've had. There are so many questions and so many doubts that the learners don't let you go off. And because the learners don't let you go off, the session always prolongs. But rest be assured, it's always an interesting session. Right? So total hours required for the session is going to be approximately about 20-25 hours at least. Right? Time required 1 month or 8 days, that is 4 weekends. What we will offer you also is we will give you permissions to join our future batches as and when you think you may have missed a session or you want to refresh a particular topic. Right? Apart from this, there are some more things which I'll ask Aditya to take over now and talk about how else are we going to be contributing towards you. Aditya, over to you.
Thank you, Vic sir. Thank you, Kamal. Hi, everyone. Happy Sunday or happy Monday to whoever is in the other part of the world wherein it's already past midnight. Okay, I think you guys are already aware about what the course content is, what is the duration. So the main question that arises would be what would be the fee that you would need to pay. So as you can see on the course page, the fee is close to $425 Canadian. So we are giving a discount of 25 outright for anyone who wants to join this course. And in addition to that, there are further discounts as well, which Kaman is going to speak about. But at the moment, you'll get a bonus of $20 for each referral. If you have any friends or family who wants to join, so please go ahead and let them know about it. There is no limit in terms of the number of referrals that you can provide. If you provide 10 referrals, you'll get 200. If you provide, say, 1,000, you'll get close to 20,000. So it's up to you how many ever people you can refer. And you see another caveat which says 90 days money back through profits. So during the course, in addition to providing you training, we would always be providing you some tips and tricks as to how you can trade certain stocks, which would help you understand, okay, if I get into a stock at a certain period of time, what is it that I would need to ensure that I make certain profit? We would provide you all the details, and we will not only provide you the tickers, but we'll also let you know as to how we came to a conclusion that a certain stock is going to go up or go down. As one or two people here already mentioned that they trade on stocks based on certain blogs or certain information that they receive. But we want you people to understand like how you can determine yourself that a certain stock is going to go up or go down. We will not say that you'll be right 100% of times, but once you understand and learn this course, most of the time you would be on the right track. And then, as we've already mentioned, you see that there are 15 plus topics on trading. The reason we say not exact number as 15, but 15 plus is in addition to the topics that we've already listed, there are instances wherein we teach you more to help you understand how stock market works. This again is free of cost. We don't charge you anything. And then again, as mentioned, the number of hours is 20 plus hours. The reason being, as Vivek sir has mentioned, we start on time, but in terms of when we end depends on are we able to complete that topic for that particular day. are we able to answer all the questions that each and every team member has? Until that happens, for sure, we are not going to close the class, even it means that if it's going to take more than 10 hours, rest assured. And another important thing is refresher lessons free within 3 months. Again, say for example, you attended this class and then you see, okay, then you say that I've got certain questions which are not unanswered. Though you get the videos, you might feel that I want to attend a live session. You are always free to do so. Whenever we start the next batch, we would provide the links to all our previous batches as well. And then if you're interested in going through the whole course, you can join all the topics. Or if you feel you want to have a refresher only for certain topics, you can join on those days as well. Again, it's up to you, whatever you guys want to do. And money back through profits, as explained, right? If you're able to ensure that you trade based on the inputs that we provide, you should be able to get back your money back through profits. And another most important thing is handholding in GMT Premium Group. So there is a WhatsApp group that's already available. Whoever enrolls for this course would be made a member of that particular WhatsApp group. That's what WhatsApp group has team members who have already joined, who have already completed that course and who are new as well. So here you would be able to ask your questions, and it is not only the tutors over here, but anyone who's already been a member of this particular community is going to answer your question, which means that once you take this course, once you're well versed with all the topics, once you understand and once you become an expert in certain topics, you would be the one who would be answering certain questions when someone new asks questions, or even someone experienced doesn't understand anything, but you have a better understanding, you would be the one who's answering as well. So here it is basically a community wherein anyone can ask any question related to stocks, and anyone who has that knowledge, in addition to the tutors, would answer this. And then the final part is the certificate of completion. So once you completed this course, Kamal would hand over the certificate of completion online, which you can show to your friends that, okay, you completed this particular course. And coming to the most important aspect, again, who would be the target audience? So some of them might say, I've already been trading, I know certain things, why should I join? Or some of them say, I don't even know anything about stock market, do I or do I not? Especially for people who have not done any courses on stock market or who have not understood the stock market, they would always think that it is gambling. But that is the wrong terminology. If you understand stock market is a place wherein you are taking a calculated risk, wherein you are aware about certain trends. And as someone rightly asked, we want to know how the market is behaving. Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? Is it going to go sideways? So once you are aware about it, then you know that stock market is not at all gambling, but taking calculated risk, wherein most of the time, if you believe in your fundamentals and stick to it, you would be making profits in most of the times. So the target audience would be anyone who is not aware even about what a stock market is, what a candlestick is, or what trading is, to anyone who's seasoned as well, who's not aware about, okay, what I am doing, I'm not sure whether it is right or wrong, because we'll start right from the scratch to explain as to what a candlestick is and how a candlestick is going to go up or go low. We are going to show that live as well, which would help people understand. And in addition to this, once you understand the technicals and the fundamentals of this particular stock market, you can apply that for your cryptocurrencies or even Forex or when you're trading options as well. But again, that you can do at your own risk, because some currencies are pretty volatile, especially cryptos and Forex are pretty volatile compared to stocks. And there are chances that if you're not careful, you can lose out of your capital as well. So we would say you can start slow. And once you are well versed with it, you can take it one step at a time. And as mentioned, once you complete this particular trading course on stock market, and then you're well versed with this course, after a few months or say after a year or so, if you want to get into options, you can do that as well, wherein we're going to teach you as well. Okay, you'll have the information here. As mentioned, the next course is going to begin on the 4th of May. But again, a caveat here is unless and until you understand the stock market and its fundamentals completely, we would not advise anyone to go into options. Again, you can pay the money and join the course, but it's not advisable because you are not aware about the fundamentals of how stock market works. And coming to the final point in terms of what are all the requirements. So ideally, any laptop or a PC, if sometimes it might be a mobile phone as well, but we would not say a mobile or a smartphone. The reason being, there are instances wherein you would be doing hands-on practice as well on certain charts. It is difficult to see them, view them, or even perform hands-on. So ideally, a laptop or a computer with a stable internet connection is required. And the most important thing is whoever wants to join this course or whoever is joining the course, the zeal to learn and zeal to understand. As Vivek sir rightly mentioned at the beginning of this course, we are going to enable you to understand how you can trade, and no one is going to become perfect overnight. As they say, practice makes a man or woman perfect. You would need to practice regularly. And the most important thing is sticking to what your fundamentals are. You shouldn't be changing overnight, stating that, okay, as we mentioned, there are topics wherein we'll know how you can ensure that you do not have a FOMO, that is fear of missing out, and other psychological topics. But again, as mentioned, make sure that you're joining these courses, not missing out, and giving your time, so that way you're able to understand how a stock market works. So that is it from my end. If there are any questions, you can ask. If not, over to you, Kamal. Thank you.
Thank you, Aditya. Thank you, Vivek sir. So that was, I believe, a quick walkthrough of the course. And just one thing I would like to add, if there's any student who is doing any course in Canada or US, we do have 50% discount for those who are student here, and we would make sure that the student also learns from the course, and we could support them how they could start investing or trading in the North American market. So with that, I think we are done with the presentation. Just last piece that I can say is that once we are done with this session and you feel confident in enrolling in the course, you can just go on this course web page and register like any e-commerce site, or you can come to our home page, and if you scroll down to this course section, you can click on Enroll Now, which will directly take you to the cart, and you can complete the steps for enrolling in the course. So these are pretty straightforward. You might be very much familiar with any e-commerce site, and that would help you in completing the registration in about 5 to 10 minutes. So for those who are in Canada, we would encourage if you could use direct bank transfer. If not, then we do have credit card as payment option. In terms of preference and ease, direct bank transfer would be preferred. However, it's an option which we would like to give based on your comfort of the payment mode. This last one is for those who are in Niagara Falls. If either of these doesn't work, we do have option for paying in person as well. So with that, I would pause here and open up for any questions from anyone.
Anybody has any questions over here? Please feel free to ask. But
Yep.
before you ask, I'll just give you one piece of input, which Aditya also mentioned, that whatever we teach you, you can use it in any part of the world on any commodity or any script or any trading instrument which is traded on stock exchanges anywhere in the world. So it could be gold, it could be silver, it could be commodities, it could be bitcoins, it could be stocks, it could be currencies. And you could use the same principles on every part of the world. So you can sit in one corner of the world and trade globally. With that, I will ask and wait for your questions or any queries that you have. Thank you.
Yeah. Hi, this is Nigda again. I have a question about are we gonna discuss about long-term investments, or is the whole session about learning technical analysis and just about like trading in general and day trading and only
Nikita,
that information?
we will do the first technical analysis, and technical analysis can be done for practically any and every time frame. Number one. Number two, you talked about long term. We will also, in the course of our sessions, me personally, I am a believer of long term investor. I am myself a long term investor, and I always advocate that how a long term portfolio is to be created.
Okay.
Because I have a different name for it. I call it a legacy portfolio.
Okay.
But that is always done. And there's a systematic way of creating a legacy or a long term portfolio. So we do talk about that because that's a part and parcel of the trader psychology. Every trader is individually different, right?
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
Kamal is a person who can trade penny stocks with great ease. I can trade on a 1 minute chart with comfort, absolute
Mhm.
ease. But at the same time, I'm also a legacy portfolio builder. So that means I'm trading on a 1 minute chart and a legacy portfolio. So I'm giving you the experience of both the extremes.
Okay.
So we will
Okay.
talk about all of that within the course. Long-term portfolio is a part and parcel of the course.
Okay.
Anything else?
So I guess we will also be talking about all kind of instruments, right? Like,
Of course.
okay.
When we talk about technicals, we will talk about technicals. How technicals can be used on any and every instrument.
Okay.
Like I am a very strong opponent of bitcoins. If you ask me, I don't like
Okay.
bitcoins at all, and I make this abundantly clear that I don't fancy bitcoins or even any form of virtual currency. But we will tell you how the same technicals that are used on stocks, be it Apple or be it Tesla or be it Amazon or be it Microsoft, I will also use it on bitcoins. The same technicals work there also.
Okay.
So if it works on one counter, it works on the other counter easily.
Yes, and
Okay.
just to add to that, although Vivek sir and me, we are in same team, but when it comes to Bitcoin, we are
We are
in
on the opposite
opposite
sides.
teams.
Great. Okay. So by end of the course, do you think like if we are very religious and do our homework and do attend the sessions, do you think like end of the sessions we will be able to at least build a long-term portfolio for ourselves?
Easily,
Okay.
easily, easily.
I would say that at least you will get the skill so that you can start building your long-term portfolio.
On the contrary, during the same course time, if I'm taking the session, I might even give you some secrets of building up a long-term portfolio, the rules
Okay.
and regulations of building up a long-term portfolio. I
Okay.
always do that. So those are the bonuses which come, which is why my sessions are slightly longer. I tend to throw in a lot of unannounced bonuses.
Okay. And you also mentioned that this will be like all other than the technical analysis, all the tips and tricks are going to be for both North America and Indian markets, right?
It will be primarily for North American markets.
Okay.
The tips, number one, we don't call them tips.
I mean, information.
It's the wrong thing to call them tips. We call them trade setups.
Okay.
A trade setup will come in, and during the trade setup, when we are going to share that trade setup with you, we will share with you what were the parameters used for entering the trade setup. So you will automatically learn to pick up and generate a trade on your own also.
Okay.
Right? So the trade setup will be shared, but during the process of time. I mean, you'll be taught a topic, then a trade setup based on that topic will be shared. By the time you come to the third week or the fourth week, the trade setup will have a large amount of other indicators, other technical factors that are already incorporated in the trade. And we are letting you know this is your entry price, this is your stop loss, this is your target. And these are the reasons why the trade setup was created for you. So it's a
Okay.
learning in the process of the trade setup being given. And as a learner, you will be yourself required to share what trade setups are you finding for us to ratify it and share it on the group.
Okay.
And you will be given the due credit for that. So if Cigna is finding out a trade that this is the trade to buy, Cigna's name is there, that Cigna has suggested this is the trade to buy.
Okay.
So that is the way of scaling yourself. The idea is, if somebody is smart amongst all of you, you know the topics. You can visit the website, study the topics, go and research them on the YouTube. You will get umpteen number of videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm not asking you, don't enroll for this course. Go to the website, look at all the topics, go to YouTube, study all the topics one by one, and you'll become an expert. But is that really going to be working that way? May not, because the YouTube will not give you the nuances and the twists which Kamal and me and Aditya will share. Those are things which are internally generated by us, by our experience. So that is not available on YouTube. And the second point is, you will be learning to fish. You learn to fish, you will trade on your own.
Yeah, makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah. And live sessions are particularly like helpful when you are a beginner or want to learn
Absolutely.
better.
Absolutely. That will be done.
Yeah, and just to add one more point
Thank
to
you.
Vivek sir's response. Sorry, Sina. So you might find all of the topics on YouTube. The amount of time that you would be spending on YouTube to learn these topics would be much more than the amount of time that you would be investing in this course to learn the same topic, and not just learning about the topic, but also applying it in your trades, because that's even more important.
Anybody else has got any other doubts or any other questions to ask?
So, Vivek, I'll
Yes,
be, I'm still going to be in India and traveling on 10th night. So 9th also, even if I'm here, I won't have time to look at. So which means I would be missing the first session. But of course, what you mentioned is there's going to be a recorded.
That's right.
So which I could refer.
Yes.
So I will have to catch up until the next weekend.
That's totally fine. So what we could do once you're back here in Canada, for the first topic, I think watching the recording should give you a brief in terms of what terminologies are. And the second session, this hands-on, this will be, we will make sure that since you will not be available on Sunday because you might be traveling, so what we could do is that we could keep this on the third class so that you would be able to take advantage of this hands-on class.
That'd be great.
We can work out in terms of
the second session, which is on candlesticks, is when we will introduce the candles to you. The third session is when you will start drawing your supports and resistances, which is going to be a hands-on experience. So candles and drawing of supports and resistances are going to be important. So we will, at least I for one always insist that come what may, I want you all to be participating in these two sessions always.
Right.
So in case if you miss out, yes, of course, recordings are available. You can come back for the next batch or watch the recording 3 times over the week and then quiz me for 1 hour prior to the session next day, before when we start. That's also acceptable to me.
Yep. That's great.
Lovely. Anybody else? Any doubts?
Just a quick question around that third session that you talked about. So on 16th, I have to pick up my mom from the airport, right? So I'll be traveling from Kitchener to Pearson and then hopefully coming back. I might miss starting. I don't know how. Like her flight's at like 9:30 land time. It's 9:30. So I should be home roughly by 11:30 at least, right?
Perfect.
So that session would be the support and or like, is it around the candlestick?
No, between you and Suresh, in case if you're going to shift it, you will be then missing out the candlestick patterns, which will be the introduction pattern. And then we could take it off on trying and support the next weekend, because I normally try to take the candles on a Sunday.
Okay.
So that I can give you homework to be done over the week.
I see. Okay. Okay. So we have that slight leeway.
That's understandable. I understand that, which is why I'm saying you can use the opportunity of watching the videos over and over again. And of course, you will have our numbers with you. You can always message us and we could always resolve your queries immediately. Your Kamal's number will be shared with you. Aditya's numbers will be shared with you, and my numbers also. So that is not an issue. We will always be able to handhold you and take you out and help you out.
Thank you. Thanks.
Most welcome.
Yeah, and as I mentioned earlier as well, in terms of scheduling class, this time is our preferred time. If learners who have enrolled in the batch, they have something which occupies this time, we have a flexibility to shift the timing so that it works for everyone on that particular session.
Like I remember in the very first batch or second batch, you had somebody coming in from Vancouver. And he was waking up in the morning at 5 o'clock because the time difference was so bad. So that's
actually,
all right.
these timings are really good. I mean, 10:30 to 1 for Saturdays and Sundays. That's the best time which we can attend on while we are in Canada there.
Very true. That is why this is after a lot of trial and error that these timings have been finalized. And we are still open to it depending upon what the majority of the batch wants. If they want to start off at 7:30 in the morning, I am more than happy. Because for me, it will be an earthly hour.
Yeah. So in terms of the class timing, as the batch starts, we will be opening up towards the end of the class to get inputs if the timing works, and then we can agree upon what would be the time for the class for the subsequent classes. So anything that is worrying about missing out the class or not being able to attend any of the classes, we can work it out. As Vivek sir mentioned, recordings would be available. You can watch as many times, and then we open up our class to give you additional half an hour, 1 hour slot to discuss one-to-one, or if someone else also has the same question, they can join and catch up on the topics that's missed.
Anybody else has any more questions? Nupur, Shreya, Shweta, Mansi.
Hello.
Hey, Shreya.
Hello. Hi, I'm Shri. I've joined from Mississauga.
Yes.
So my question is, will we also be covering topic where we decide which stock to buy from amongst a pool of stocks? So my main concern is, if we even select a sector, there will be ample number of stocks which will be dealing with it indirectly, directly. So amongst all of these stocks, which will be the right stock for us to go ahead? So we'll be discussing that as well. Cherry
Yes,
picking.
of course. Yes, of course. We will. Actually, it's a part and parcel of our course. How do you stock screen your trades? There is something called stock screening, which Kamal is currently showing you. So how do you screen your stocks is also taught to you. So you will always get a huge bundle of shares, counters to buy and sell, of them which one to buy.
Yep. Yes.
Right. Like for instance, at this very minute, if you look at the banking stocks of the Canadian market, every stock is near its 52-week high, but there are one or two stocks which are not.
Okay.
So these are techniques which we will tell you that yes, they have a scope of further jump. But I'm just giving you one as an example of the cuff example. So such kind of trades, such kind of cherry picking is always taught to you properly.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. Anybody else? Nupur, Shweta, Tiwari, Ajay, Saswat. Anybody else? Any questions? I believe Mansi is not here. Mansi moved out.
Yeah, and actually, I'm going to say for those who are joining in from India or have any personal work, you are free to drop as well. We'll continue with the session for those who have additional questions.
Anybody has any more queries? That's the best way to ask. Unmute yourself. There is no restriction on unmuting. You can unmute yourself, show us your video if required, and shoot your question.
Vivek sir, Kamal, can I ask you guys to stay back at the end? Like, once we're done with others, I don't mind staying back. I just want to connect with you guys to discuss a couple of things. So.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
We would be on till the session is not terminated by Kamal. So we would be on.
Yeah, thanks.
Anybody, any questions? Please feel free. Nupur, I keep coming back to you. Welcome, Signa.
No questions. No questions.
Thank you, Snigdha.
Thank you. Shweta, Saswat, feel free. Guys, because otherwise we are done with our presentation of what the course is all going to be all about.
Hey, it was a great introduction, I think. Thanks for introducing it so well. I'll be dropping, but yeah, I think for the timing is good. Timing is really good. 10:30 to 1 is actually good, and it felt good to know that you'll be adding extra bonus as well as part of each lecture. So yeah, thanks a lot.
Most welcome, Saswat. Most welcome.
Great. So I think with that, thank you all for joining this session and also proactively asking your questions before the start of the orientation and also towards the end. We really appreciate your presence and hope you are now more confident in enrolling in the course, and we'll be happy to see you in the class next Saturday. So with that, thank you and hope you have good remaining part of Sunday, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.